Hello and good morning. It's Phil Thatch, and I'm here once again at the small college here in Chattanooga, where there's a pond right over there that I found hooded mergansers in just a few days ago. And I'm back again today, and there are a few hooded mergansers over there. My plan is to set up at the edge of that pond down low, and I don't know if you can see it, but I have a green blanket around my neck. And what I'm going to do is set up over there and put the green blanket over me and over my camera, not the lens, not the front of the lens, and see how close those mergansers will come. Hopefully they'll just think, oh, there's a green bump, not a man with a camera, and maybe I'll get some closer pictures than I did last time. Although I was pretty pleased with what I got last time, but I hope to exceed that today. So let's see how this goes. As I set up my blanket and tripod, I did spook the hooded mergansers and they flew off. So while I waited for them to come back, I made some slow motion video of this great blue heron fishing. Looks like it was a fail on the first attempt. This is back up to regular speed. I just wanted to show you guys the fishing line that's tangled all around the leg of this great blue heron. Nothing against fishing, but please clean up your fishing line, fellas. Now we're back to slow motion as the great blue heron's going to make another attempt at catching a minnow. Let's see how this one goes. Looks like second try is a fail. Here's the third attempt at catching a minnow. Wow, reaching way back in there for this one. Definitely got a leaf. Oh, look, got a fish. To the victor go the spoils. Good job, great blue heron. Swallow that thing. I wonder if that will satisfy this great blue heron or if it's still hungry. Looks like it's still hungry. Way down in there again, and another minnow has been secured by the great blue heron. Good for you, Mr. Great Blue Heron, or maybe Mrs. Great Blue Heron. You've earned that meal. Enjoy it. My first shot of the day was of the beautiful great blue heron who we saw fishing, and it was very cold this morning. Look at all the frost here in the grass. And I was sitting on the ground, so I was getting pretty cold myself. This is 600 millimeters. It's a prime lens. They'll all be 600 millimeters, wide open at 6.3, ISO 1100, and my shutter speed was only 1/100th. Not much light in the early morning, but I made it look bright with that slow shutter speed. Beautiful great blue heron fishing. The hooded mergansers have returned, but look in the background. The great blue heron is still fishing. That is one hungry bird, but I was definitely there for the hooded mergansers, so I'm switching my attention to them. I enjoyed watching them swimming around. This is 3 males here and 2 females, and the males have their hoods nicely extended, and they're doing some dancing for the females. I've slowed down to 40% speed slow motion here to kind of show these males doing what they do. They are amazing to watch. They extend their necks and they poke their hoods way up and sling their heads around, which is always fun to watch. Occasionally they'll lean back, maybe flap their wings a couple of times. Just really cool to watch these birds. And I was so thrilled to be able to capture this behavior in slow motion. I switched the camera to DX mode or APS-C mode when I do my video clips of these birds, and that makes it 900 millimeters full frame equivalent because of the 1.5 crop. But I still get the full 4K and I still can do slow motion. So DX mode for distant birds is really helpful. Here's the hooded mergansers. I was really hoping they would get a lot closer than they did while I was under the blanket, but they never did get real close. This is f6.3 wide open, 1/100th and ISO 110 of this male hooded merganser. This is the female, a little bit closer. She's filling the frame more. All of these pictures are heavily cropped. This is f6.3, 1/500th of a second, a little bit more light now, and 900 ISO. Here's a male all the way at the back of the pond, 1/500th of a second, 360 ISO. All of these are wide open at 6.3. Another shot of a male, 1/500th and 360 ISO. And this was just shortly after that, also 1/500th and 320 ISO on this one. Kind of a beautiful shot here, 1/500th and 400 ISO for this 600 millimeter male hooded merganser shot. Another one at 1/500th of a second, 450 ISO for this one. And here's a male and a female, and it looks like he's trying to impress her with some antics. This one is 1/500th and 320 ISO. Here's another shot. Look at that hood poked way up, and he's leaning back to try to impress her. This is also 1/500th and 320 ISO. The Mergansers left as some personnel from the college drove by and spooked them. And I thought these trees at 600 millimeter reflecting in the water looked pretty, so I made this shot 1/500th and ISO 450. It almost looks like intentional camera movement, but the camera's not moving at all. I got really cold, so I went to the car to warm up, and as I sat there in the car, this beautiful female belted kingfisher landed in a tree near the pond, and I slowly drove over and made this shot. This is 1/800th of a second, ISO 250, still wide open at 6.3. Well, I came to another pond, the Curtain Pole Road pond, that's, I don't know, a mile or two down the road from the one there at the college. And there's a lot of ducks here. There's, I don't know, 30 or 40 ringneck ducks. I saw one northern shoveler, some gadwalls, and a couple of hooded mergansers here. So I made a few photos and video clips here at Curtain Pole Road. Here's a few video clips from Curtain Pole Road. This is a male ringneck duck. They are diving ducks, as you'll see. Always fun to see a ringneck duck. And at Curtain Pole Road, you can't get down as low. This is a northern shoveler, a male northern shoveler. It was the only one that was there. Really cool to see it. I was surprised to see one, and usually you see 4 or 5 if you see one, but today I just saw this one. And here's a question for you. How many ringneck ducks can preen on this log? And the answer is quite a few ringneck ducks. There's a couple of females back in there. Most of them are males, but there are a couple of females there as well. You can't get as low and close to the water at the Curtain Pole Road pond as you can over at the little college, but I thought this female swallowing a fish, this female hooded merganser swallowing a fish, was worth sharing with you. This is 1/1000th and ISO 360. While I was at Curtain Pole Road, I saw this beautiful robin on a branch in interesting light and had to make a photograph of it. This is 1/1000th and ISO 800. Here's a male hooded merganser in the bright light at the Curtain Pole Road pond. This is 1/1250th of a second and ISO 500. This is 3 ringneck ducks. There were probably 30 or 40 ringneck ducks there at the Curtain Pole Road pond. I didn't get a whole lot of pictures of them, but I did make a photograph of these 3 as they were taking off. This is 1/1600th of a second, ISO 640. And I didn't make any photos or video clips of the gadwall that were there. There were probably 4 or 5 of them, but this one took off and flew right by me, so I made a shot of it. This is 1/1600th of a second, ISO 800 of the gadwall duck in flight. That's going to do it for me today. If you enjoyed the content, take a second, hit thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. If you want to see some more stuff like this, subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.